Okay, so what is the basic difference between an animal rescuer and an animal shelter?
Generally, a rescue will get their animals from the shelter or from a private home. They're taken into the home as a member of the family and treated like a part of the family, just like a foster child.
In your case, you're not necessarily a dog rescuer. Your focus is on Yorkies. And how did that come about?
When I was young, I got my first Yorkie, and I fell in love with this dog because he was basically talking to me. I found that most Yorkies do talk to me, and that is my connection.
Okay, so are you a Yorkie Whisperer?
Yeah, I think I am. I'll whisper to them, and they whisper back.
I see, okay. And so when we think about the adoption process, and an individual wants to adopt a Yorkie by contacting the rescuer, is that how they do it?
Generally, we have people go to our website, and on that website, we list our dogs that are available for adoption. Once they see a dog on there that they think that would be a good member of their family, they can process an application on there. It goes to the foster parent, and the foster parent takes it from there. If the person is a good match for that dog, then we go ahead and process the adoption.
Okay, and how does the applicant qualify, or how do you qualify the applicant as being a good candidate?
There are three things that I look for. First of all, I look at their lifestyle towards what the dog's needs are. Second, I would look to see if they have small children in the household, because Yorkies generally do not do well with small dogs. And I would also make sure that there are no large dogs in the household, sometimes next door as well. But those are generally what I'm looking at.
Are you saying then that Yorkies don't do well with other small dogs and small children? Is that what you're saying?
Small dogs are okay generally. Small children, not so much. They tend to move too fast, and that will scare a Yorkie. One thing I did forget to mention, I do check the home for safety. Small dogs, need to be in a safe environment.
So you actually go to the home and do a home inspection? Their physical home?
I do.
Oh, I see. I didn't know that. And then once you see that everything measures up to the specs that you require, then the process goes to the next step. And what would that be?
We would have them sign a contract to adopt the dog. There are things that we point out to them. For instance, Yorkies don't know any better about crossing the street than small children, and you cannot let them run loose. And the adoption contract covers a lot of different things. Once they sign the contract, they pay the adoption fee, and the process is complete.
Okay, so once you have a qualified applicant, how long would the process normally take?
Once we've done the home check, it's usually pretty quick. I would say less than 2 weeks.
Have you ever had a situation where a dog was adopted and you found out that they didn't really qualify and you had to repo the dog?
That has only happened to me on one occasion, and it was due to a lie from the applicant. In that situation.
You mean to tell me people lie on applications?
People do lie in all circumstances.
And how did you track that?
Because I had done the home check, I knew where they lived, and I went to them, and unfortunately I did a confrontation, and they were very upset. The dog was happy to leave with me, though, so... Oh,
I see. Okay. Did you ever fix the lie and get it right and come back and get another Yorkie?
No.
It was just, okay.
They realized they were in the wrong, and they didn't pursue it any further.
I see. Okay, and so most of the, I'm sure, applicants that you may connect a Yorkie to seem to have happy stories, happy endings?
Most of them do.
That's good, that's good.
A lot of them do. I had one, unfortunately, that didn't work out, and the dog was returned to us. But the dog did make it to another home, and it was a good fit. So that was a happy ending in the end.
I see. Now, where do these dogs come from? How do these dogs wind up in a Yorkie rescuer agency?
Well, dogs will end up in a shelter when the family either lets them go and lets them fend for themselves, or the family might take the dog to the shelter, and the shelter would then contact us if they have trouble placing the dog themselves. Conversely, we might also have a family contact us directly. They're moving in 2 months and they know they can't take the dog with them, and they just need to make sure that the dog does indeed go to a good home. So by surrendering the dog to Yorkie Rescue, they are definitely ensured that the dog will go to a good home.
I see, because I mean, there are stories of people just, abandoning the dog at a playground where other kids are. So the other kids will start drawing attention to the dog, and then people will watch from a distance and see that somebody will pick the dog up. And then there have been people that have put puppies and dogs in the back of people's pickup trucks, and people would come from the store and look at the back of their pickup truck and wonder how these dogs got back there.
Right.
Is that a good way to drop dogs off, in your opinion?
Absolutely not. I would not recommend that at all. First of all, you really don't know where the dog came from, and you don't know where the dog's going. So on either end, it's not a good end for the dog at all.
How should people part with their dogs if they find that they can't have them anymore, especially the Yorkies? What do you recommend that they do if they're going to make the decision to part with their dogs?
If they absolutely have to, reach out to a rescue that is breed specific. If you have a German Shepherd, don't contact Yorkie Rescue. We can't help you.
I see.
But
and if it's a mongrel.
There are small dog rescues that will do just about any small breed. There are large dog rescues. There's pit bull rescues.
Is there any reason why a person should be hesitant to take a dog to a shelter? I mean, does the shelter interrogate them, ask them a bunch of questions, put them on the defense in any way?
They probably put them on the defense a little bit, not necessarily intentionally, but the shelters only have so much space. The dogs are not treated like a family member, and they do have the possibility of being euthanized just because they have no more space. Puppies, it doesn't matter how healthy they are, but that's the fact of the matter. They do get put to sleep without necessarily being too ill to live.
I see. Now, what about Yorkies, going back to that topic, that you come across, or the shelter comes across, or the agency comes across, that are ill, that are sick? And I'm talking about cancerous or tumors or things of that nature.
Okay.
How would first of all, how would the shelter deal with something like that if somebody dropped off a cute little Yorkie, but it has numerous tumors or something like that?
In that case, we do take the dog. If the dog has a chance of being medically helped, we want to do it. So that is a case where we would get them the medical care. Fractured pelvis from a car accident, things like that. Yes, we will take them. We will get
so
them
the shelter would have the dog first, and then they would put it on their website, or they would call you and let you know what's going on?
In that situation, they generally call us, either reaching out to our president or to the state director, and they'll tell us what they have. Can we help? And that's when we internally find a foster parent who will take care of them. The foster parent takes care of getting them to the veterinarian and getting them the medical needs met.
Okay. Now, I understand you have a case like that right now where a dog, had tumors or something to that effect, and it was brought to your attention. Can you give us the story on that dog? I think the dog's name was Lily, you said?
Yes.
You want to tell me about Lily?
Lily is a cute little girl. We got her from Riverside County Shelter.
In California.
In California.
Mm-hmm.
When we got her, she had multiple tumors on her abdomen. Mm-hmm. We did pick her up and take her in, and she has received medical care. The tumors had to be surgically removed. They have been removed. She is doing well.
Excellent.
And looking at adoption probably in the next 2 weeks.
Okay, so Lily is a good example of what you do, meaning the shelter came across a puppy that was ill, that had tumors. they contacted you. This is your job, like kind of like a job for Supergirl. You get this puppy or dog on your hands. How old is Lily, by the way?
We're guesstimating that she's about 10 years old.
And nobody knows where she came from.
That's correct.
Okay,
she was a stray.
But we know where she is right now, in good hands.
She's in perfect hands.
Okay, now, if you don't mind, we've been talking about Lily a little bit. Can you show the viewers Lily so we can see what she looks like and take a look at what a nice heeled Yorkie looks like?
I think we should do that.
Okay.
What are we barking at?
Woof, 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 woof. Woof, 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 woof. Says it's time to take me on another walk. She loves her walks.